When the trumpet of the Lord would sound, then work would be no more. Those living would be called from the far corner to give account of their works before the Lord and our Savior. When the trumpet would be blown, I would be there. When the trumpet will be blown yonder, when the trumpet will be blown yonder, when the trumpet will be blown yonder, when the trumpet would be blown, I would be there. Hello and welcome to People Human Rights, People Human Rights 2020.com. I am Olga. This is our 20th video where we will be talking about the debt, the global debt crisis. But first, what is a trumpet spiritually? What is a trumpet? A trumpet is an instrument, a thing that spiritually aims to give a signal. Okay. Yeah, for example, a trumpet, the instrument itself, the musical instrument, the bells of a church, the tam-tam, African tam-tam, anything that helps to warn, to give a signal to people. But this spiritual signal has a physical impact, of course, a physical manifestation. So, physically, the trumpet can be an event, something happening. It can be a word or a message. It can be a person. The trumpet can be a person, or can be how can I say, or can be the fate of someone. So something that will bring other events, other things happening. So the trumpets of the Apocalypse, Revelation, the Bible, so they are signals, messages between God and his holy angels, which are already set up, planified to be given at a special moment, and in order to make other events happen, events that have already been planned by God. So this is between them, between God and his angel, but it has a physical manifestation. And on the earth, it brings some events monitored by the holy angels. All right, so welcome to what we want to talk about. It's not something very, very long. What is all this global debt people are talking about? At the start, it's just statements with no foundation made by some evil people, and they work around it make it to become fact, you know. For example, we will take the example of the human motherlands and Haiti, the island, and yeah, when the imperialist people, when the countries who are colonized, occupied, want their freedom, the demons transform these their wish into a tractation, something. Yeah. So I give you, I give you your freedom, and you give me this. So they always put themselves in at the place of their victims. They deny their crimes. They don't recognize their crimes. And they make themselves, they put themselves in a position of victim. And yes, they are the kind of people who accuses their victims. And their evil plans have worked because the victims, they act in a way that the victims becomes to believe that they are the one who are guilty. And the thing is that they can't prove that a victim is guilty, but the victim can prove that these imperialist people are the one who are guilty. Why? The bloody lootings. You need to bring them, to give them the bill of their looting, of their massacre, the bill of the blood they pour. And for example, the victims can prove, if we just start about slavery, but there is other things, at the time of slavery, the deportations, the massacres, the lootings, and then colonization, same thing, genocides, murders, looting, the neo-colonization now, still the same, murders, lootings, wars, terrorism. All this can be proved as guilt. So they have this depth of bloodshed in front of God and in front of the human being, because God himself asked for the blood back. So for that we will read Genesis 9 verse 5, Ezekiel 33 verses 1 to 9, Psalm 9, verses 11 to 12. Let's start. Genesis 9, verse 5. And for your life blood still, and for your life blood I will surely demand an accounting. I will demand an accounting from every animal and from each human being too. I will demand an accounting for the life of another human being. And then Ezekiel 33, verses 1 to 9. The words of the Lord. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, speak to your people and say to them, when I bring the sword against the land, and the people of the land choose one of their men and make him their watchman, and he sees the sword coming against the land and blows the trumpet to warn the people, then if anyone hears the trumpet but does not heed the warning, and the sword comes and takes their life, their blood will be on their own head. Since they heard the sound of the trumpet, but did not heed the warning, their blood will be on their own head. If they had heeded the warning, they would have saved themselves. But if the watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet to warn the people, and the sword comes and takes someone's life, that person's life will be taken because of their sin. But I will hold the watchman accountable for their blood. Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the people of Israel. So hear the word I speak and give them warning from me. When I say to the wicked, you wicked person, you will surely die, and you do not speak out to them from their ways, that wicked person will die for their sin, and I will hold you accountable for their blood. But if you do warn the wicked person to turn from their ways, and they do not do so, they will die of their sin, for their sin, though you yourself will be saved. And then Psalm 9, verses 11 to 12. Sing the praises of the Lord, enthroned in Zion. Proclaim among the nations what he has done. For he who avenges blood, remember, he does not ignore the cries of the afflicted. Yeah. You can also read Ezekiel 35, verses 5 to 6. So, and there is one other thing. When some religions or some Christian or Jewish religion, when they say that, when God say that the wicked will be punished and put in the pit, and burn for ever. It's for infinity, you know. It's true. It's just that people need to understand the context, the spiritual things. For example, suppose a man, someone who is responsible of 40 millions of deaths on earth. Suppose that something ridiculous, but it's just for you to understand me. Suppose that the sentence of God is 3 days in the pit for one death. Tell me, that person have to spend in the pit 3 times 40 millions days. That's why spiritually we talk of eternity, you know, because this person will never be able to pay his debt before God. And I have given the example with only 3 days for one death. So imagine a real sentence. Yeah. Even when we think about reincarnation, suppose people reincarnate to pay for their sin, and it's also true, but can someone reincarnate 40 million times? I don't know about that. So yes, and there's another thing. Those countries who tell others that they have debt, those countries also have debts, which is incredible, and their debts are even bigger than the debt of the other countries. So who do they owe this debt? Yeah, because when they worship the devil ask them a compensation. They are permanently in debt toward the devil, and they forget the world, on the people of the world. It's financial debt. It is human lives debt that they owe to the devil. And so they associate their victims to their crimes. Because these nonsense loans are made with a condition that you bring to them human lives. Yeah, you need to make people vaccinated. You need to accept the experiment of the transgenic mosquitoes, or yeah, and so on. You know everything. Huh? The vaccines, etc. But there's a problem. because God demands accounts to everyone. So those countries of the human motherland who reimburse colonial debt, what is that? Who are they paying? They are paying the devil. So it's up to them if they consider that they have a debt towards the devil. You see? Because those demons, it's because they deny their crimes. They don't want to feel guilty. They don't want to feel guilty that they continue their way. It doesn't mean that they will win. They won't win. But it is the way for them to continue their wicked way, because they don't want to know about owing someone. But the victims, they can't go on their way because they think they are guilty of what the demon accuses them. So it's the transfer of guilt, you know. There is not global debt. It's just like a chess game. Who will position his how do you call it? His position, his okay, his position, his little thing on the how he will position that on the chess, you know. And what are those pieces? Those pieces that you deplace on the chess. There are unjust accusers. Well, they accuse people of things those people haven't done. There are false witnesses. There are unjust judges, evil judges. There are victims who feel. I'm not saying it, but it's involuntary. Whether it is involuntarily or not involuntarily, it's not the problem. So there are victims who think that they are guilty of accusation made against them, or there are victims who put the guilty people at the place of the victim. So there is there's the relations needs to be those kind of behavior and the force, the evil forces needs to be destroyed, you know. And in fact, it is the demons. In fact, it is the demons who owe something to God and to the people. So spiritually, no one owes them anything. So as well, physically as well. All right. This is the end of the video. See you at the next video.